time. The greatest. Yeah, I am. Yeah. The niggas ain't richer than my left wrist. The greatest. The greatest. Hey, you niggas ain't richer than my left wrist. Yellow diamonds, 100,000 got you pissed. 20,000 for a fit. Or at once, then I dish. Ain't a young nigga living life like this.
Man,
bitch,
listen.
Dick, table turn type shit. Martin Luther King.
Everybody, this your man.
Like
this is your favorite straight coach.
Shit like this.
Your favorite trainer. Your life coach.
Prices inflated. Crack baby really
your
hard knock,
your
hard
uncle,
rock, hard
your
life,
big
push
brother,
right, so pure, cause
your pop, all of the
respect,
above, man.
I need
Man,
some
Coach
conversation. Don't
Shabazz.
tell me be patient. I
Listen,
might
man,
die tombstone, 6
it has
feet
been a
above
long
me.
time.
Say the greatest
SHA-PODCAST. We up to episode number 22. Took a little hiatus because of some career dancing that I've been doing. Made a gigantic leap from, I guess you could say, from high school to college. Now officially the head strength and conditioning coach at Lane College. Shout out President Comer. Shout out to Coach Dixon, amazing women's basketball coach. Shout out my man Coach Rayford, head men's basketball coach. Shout out the head track coach. Man, shout out Coach Jeff, head baseball coach. Man, shout out everybody that believes in me and trust me to train their athletes. Man, I'm more humble than you realize that you would put these young collegiate athletes in my hands so that I can try to bring the best out of them, man, by just doing what I love to do, what I was born to do. Shout out to every football athlete up at Lane who consistently comes in, hits the grind with me, man. Y'all don't understand how much I appreciate you guys just showing up, work your butt off. So I want to get those preliminaries out of the way first, man. I love you guys. Thank you all. And listen, man, it's a lot on my heart. Again, it's been a while. And lots been going on with me from a business perspective. Lots been going on personally, and lots going on in the world, man. I just want to jump on here. It's a lot to talk about, entertaining wise. It's a lot to talk about from a serious standpoint. A lot to talk about from a spiritual, from a moral standpoint, man. I just want to offer some encouragement out here, man. First off, keep it light real quick, man. It's that time of year, man. It's football season. NFL season is cranking up. NBA season is right around the corner. College football is in full swing. Again, I'm a college coach now, so that hits a little different. Lord have mercy, I'm a college coach. It's so cool to even be able to say that. I've been able to help a whole lot of high school athletes around the country for a long time, and even some college athletes here and there, and some professional athletes here and there. But to be able to be on a college campus, on a college staff, directly affecting the future of college athletes and the community up there in Jackson, Tennessee, man, it hits a whole lot different. I just pray that, God brings the best out of me so that I can help bring the best out of these young people up here. And have some fun while I'm doing it, man. Let me tell you something. Look, man, I don't never have to do another sit-up as long as I live, probably, because going up to the Lane every single day and being up there with those athletes, I laugh all the time. I fuss all the time. It's like I really inherited about 200 to 250 nieces, nephews, sons, daughters. And I hope that all of them know and understand how much love that Coach Shabazz has for each and every one of them every time I step up there. I would say, for the most part, those athletes, man, up there have been 100% bought in. There's always a small percentage who just make things a little interesting and make stuff a little difficult. But when I tell you, for the most part, I can single a few out, but I don't want to miss anybody, so I won't do that. But what I will say is, my football guys starting off this summer came out strong. My basketball guys, when they stepped in, they were all in from the jump. Basketball girls, they definitely make it interesting every day. But them ladies definitely work hard. You know, track athletes again, they stepping it up, and the I think the most interesting and fun part is going to be the baseball team, because to be able to do what I do on a consistent basis for an entire baseball team, and for them to see their skill set enhanced even more by being more explosive, quicker, faster, stronger, and all that good stuff. I can't wait to see it just manifest. So I'm really, really excited for all of that. But again, going back, man, it's football season, college football, number one team in the country right now. My beloved Ohio State Buckeyes came out swinging against Texas. Shout out to the Horns. Shout out to the Horns. my sis Jen, she look, let me tell you something. You'll get that Jen. Shout out to the Horns. Well, so and then afterwards they beat up on one of the world famous HBCUs in the country, Grambling. But I'll tell you, man, one of my favorite things about college football is marching bands, especially HBCU bands. It's nothing like it. And shoot, man, Grambling went up to freaking Columbus, and Lord have mercy, them jokers went up there and put on a absolute beautiful display of musicianship, of choreography. My God, they look great. And let me pause real quick, just I finished that sentence with the word great, and just for a moment, you may notice a couple things here displayed on my desk. I'm gonna switch gears just a minute, because I briefly mentioned that basketball season is around the corner too, and I always chime in on the GOAT debate. The GOAT debate. Who's the GOAT? MJ, Bron, MJ, Bron, MJ. My pick is always, Michael Jordan. Here's my question, and it came up recently too. It's a good question. Why do we automatically leave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the GOAT debate? Like, seriously, this man, for about 20 years in the NBA, was easily the most dominant, unguardable force that the NBA had ever seen. And he's a 6-time champion and a 5-time MVP. And this man created the most unguardable shot, still probably the sky hook. And he won championships at every single level. And he made it look ridiculously easy. And just for and this brother was an activist, standing up for black rights, and standing up for his people for years. And he was a part of one of the greatest NBA dynasties ever. Why on earth do we leave Lou Alcindor out of the GOAT debate? I think it's a little bit disrespectful too. I'll be honest. This generation, man, it's so disrespectful. Like, you're so quick to easily just discredit greatness when you don't really know it or haven't really seen it. It's just so easy to discredit. Like, I'll give you another example. Folks actually have the audacity to discredit the greatness of a Larry Bird. They'll discredit the greatness of Clyde Drexler. They actually are dumb enough to discredit the greatness of John Stockton and Karl Malone. They discredit the greatness of Charles Barkley. Like, seriously, people really don't understand that these guys were dominant in the most physical era of professional basketball. They were dominant. John Stockton was one of the best perimeter defenders ever. He's still the all-time leader in steals. This little white boy point guard, who all people think about is his passes, and he's number 2 all time in assists, if I'm not mistaken. John Stockton. And they try to write this little dude off like he was just ass. And they don't even consider Karl Malone. Like, yeah, okay, the 13-year-old and all that crap. Yeah. A lot of people, while people discredit history, the first thing that they think about when they say Karl Malone is, he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant. Okay, all right, fine. Yeah, that's despicable and all that crap. From a basketball perspective, this dude was built just like, if not bigger, than LeBron James. maybe 5-6% body fat. I mean, it's documented how much of a stickler this man was about his diet, about his nutrition, about his training. You look at him, he looks like a defensive end, but he moves like a ballerina. He was one of the few men in the heat of the 90s when basketball was at its highest that actually beat out Michael Jordan for the MVP. And during those two finals runs when they were in the NBA finals, Karl Malone was a problem. Like one of the greatest defenders, if not the greatest defender of all time, Dennis Rodman, was assigned to Karl Malone, and Karl Malone was bullying Dennis Rodman. This man was a freak of nature. Had the softest elbow jump shot we probably ever seen. Face-up game, ridiculous. Could run like a gazelle. He never ran out of energy. He was MVP of the league in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. So it's always amazing that people can just write off and just discredit greatness. I'll go to another one. Y'all silly enough to think that Charles Barkley is just a commentator. That's what y'all think. Charles Barkley was another one of the handful of men in the 90s while Michael Jordan was at the peak of his power to beat out Michael Jordan as MVP of the league. And he took the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals and almost pushed the 90s Bulls to a Game 7, where he averaged that almost 30-something points a game, double-digit rebounds. Charles Barkley, highlights of this brother going tween, wraparound, crossover, behind the back pass from half court, dime to the low block. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, 6'4", 250, 6'4" now. 6'4". That's point guard height. 6'4", power forward in the NBA. And the man was dominant. Charles Barkley, one of the 12 members of the greatest team ever assembled, the Dream Team, 92 Dream Team, and was in the conversation for the single best players on that team next to, obviously, Michael Jordan. Charles Barkley. People just remember him making controversial statements and saying what he wanted to say as a commentator. And I'm not a role model of the commercial and going back and forth with Brian and Kevin Durant. That's what y'all remember. That's why and he ain't got no ring, so he's nobody. Yeah, that's all they remember. So I said all that because another example is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. One of the great 7-footer, ballerina, soft touch, played defense, 15-time All-NBA, 10-time All-Star, just all. And they just so quietly just dismissed this brother out of the greatest player of all time conversation. It is absolutely ludicrous, man. Know your history about the game, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so college football back in full swing already early in the season. I don't really like to talk about it. It's 2 games in, man, and you still got a whole lot of football to play. I don't really like to really talk about even rankings early in the season because it's so freaking early. And a lot of times teams are obviously teams are ranked based on what they did to end the season last year, based on recruiting, all that type of stuff. But you still got to go out there. You got to go out there and play the game. You know what I mean? So I don't really like to even really consider how high a team is ranked yet because, again, it's still very, very early. But, man, let me tell you something. Man, them Ohio State boys, Lord Jesus. I won't even talk about them on offense yet because they're still kind of young on offense. Julian Sand, he coming out showing flashes of real, potential, still looking really, really good. Obviously, you got the monster on the outside, Jeremiah Smith, people still overlook, Carnell Tate, you know what I'm saying? Brandon Ennis, the other 2 stud wide receivers. The offensive line is still strong, led by kid Luke Montgomery, special freak of nature athlete, Luke Montgomery on that offensive line. But listen, man, that defense, Lord have mercy. Caleb Downs is probably the single best defensive player in the entire country. Easy. It ain't even close. This dude just make plays all over the field on all 3 levels. He can blitz. He's going to make sacks in the backfield. He's going to pick the ball off on the second level. On the third level, he can cover. He can blitz. He can play center field. The boy can do absolutely everything. If Caleb Downs isn't the Thorpe Award winner for best defense back in the country, man, just cancel the award. Just cancel it. Actually, should have won it last year. But Then you got, these stud linebackers, you know what I'm saying? These stud defensive. I mean, the boys just reload every single year, and they're not slowing down. The defense is just absolutely tremendous, man. So again, shout out to my boys, Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, we are in some crazy times, man. I'm at an HBCU, Lane College. We were in the weight room the other day, and our quarterback, my man Nick, pulled up an article that they had just shut down 2 HBCUs they shut down all activities on Thursday because of potential threats. Because obviously with the killing of Kirk, and a lot of HBCUs had gotten a lot of threats. So there was actually a total of 8 HBCUs who wound up closing campuses. They were closing all athletic activities. And he asked me if this would affect Lane at all. And I said, well, the only way it would affect us is if we really had activities going on that Thursday, which we did not. I thought if we did, then there's a chance that they could cancel ours too. Let me tell you something, man. And this may not go over well for some, and I really don't care, because I'm a dude who, I believe in God, man. I believe in, my faith is very, very strong because of the things that I've gone through, the things that he's brought me through, things that I've seen in my own life, in my family. I'm not a fan of how the world works nowadays. I'm not a fan of seeing a man be assassinated over and over and over again just for the sake of entertainment. That's despicable and disgusting. And to just make so light of this man being shot and killed in front of the entire world is actually kind of sad. Because that really lets you know that there is really no empathy. There's a lack of humanity, and the lack of humanity is at an all-time high, especially when I don't really care what this man's political views were. Yes, I mean, you could call him a racist, you could call him all of this stuff. You really can, because a lot of things he had to say, you could say that you love him, you could say that you agree with him. I'm talking about both sides of it, like both sides. That man's babies are going to have to live with the fact that he's never coming home again. And there are images of this man being slaughtered on live TV, and people are talking about him as though he's not a man. And his children now grow up without a father. And his wife is now a widow. And this man was 31 years old. And his kids are very, very young. And they're growing up in a society where social media is rampant. And people take everything lightly. And they don't take anything serious anymore at all. It's really, really sad, because they call you weak if you show feelings or if you show empathy. They call you soft if you cry. They laugh at you when you're down. They kick you when you're suffering. They make light of your struggles. And it's really a damn shame. The lack of humanity, the lack of compassion, the lack of empathy that the world shows now. And I'm ashamed of a lot of people who call themselves I'm gonna pause right there, man. There's some people that I'm really just ashamed to say that I even know or affiliate myself with, because you lack decent humanity. And don't get it twisted, man. I'm not on the side of this man because of his views and because of who he is and what he says and all his politics and stuff. I'm one of the least political people that you will ever hear from. But some people, man, I hope nothing ever serious happens to you in your own life or to your family, because you're going to fold like a sheet of aluminum foil. And you're going to hope that somebody shows you love and empathy when somebody is making light of your situation. Now, I've seen people making jokes about somebody's marriage falling apart. That ain't never funny. That's traumatic. I've seen people take lightly when somebody dies. That's never funny. It's always sad and traumatic. I don't like when people make fun of overweight people, skinny people. I can't stand any of it. So the fact that we can make light of this man, regardless to his political views, regardless to, what he says or what he believes in. No, man, that's not cool. It's not. And I pray for anybody who lacks the humanity, the compassion to feel sorry for a person's family. And the first thing you think of is running to something, to chime in on it because it's entertaining. Not even considering the fact, again, that this man's babies are going to grow up without a father forever. And that people made light of his assassination. All right, so let's move on to something. I got to lighten the load a little bit again because I don't want to just go on and on about that. But I did want to speak on it real quick because it's going on, man, in the world. And I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee. Bruh, Donald Trump just deployed the National Guard here to Memphis. And it's odd because it's also a time where crime is actually at a historic low over the last, for this year. And the numbers are trending downward at such a accelerated pace. It's crazy because obviously I have insight because my wife is a colonel in one of the main crime-ridden precincts in the entire city of Memphis. And knowing what I know specifically, y'all have no idea what the Memphis Police Department is doing, have done, have executed to get the crime to actually trend going downward. And I'm going to make this analogy because I'm a strength coach. I'm a fitness expert when it comes to weight loss, okay? Check this out. People that are extremely overweight, when they're gung-ho about starting a weight loss program, gung-ho, on fire, boom. They get in, they start their meal plan, all right? They start working out, and they lose, let's say they lose 15 pounds first 2 weeks. That's possible, 15. Heck yeah, man, that means in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna lose 15 more pounds, right? Not necessarily. Several factors within the first couple of weeks of just drastically losing that first round of weight. A lot of it is water weight, okay? A lot of it is your bowels being cleared out and being cleansed out because they're packed with bile, they're packed with waste, and a lot of it is flushed out when you get on a regular exercise routine, you get on a regular meal plan. All right, so a lot of that excess weight is burnt off or melted off very quickly within the first couple of weeks. So you can think that that's the process and that's what it's always going to be, right? Not so much. Because now that the weight loss part slows down, true fat burn starts to happen, your body composition starts to change, so meaning that you put on muscle, you burn more fat, and sometimes the scale, instead of plummeting down, it'll go down, it'll go up a little bit, it'll go down, it'll go up a little bit, go down, come up a little bit, okay? Keep that thought in mind because the goal is to have it to trend down. You want the scale number to trend going down, meaning overall, it's going to go down, up a little bit, down a little bit, up quite a bit, down a lot, up a little, down a lot, up a lot, down a little, up a little. So, but I'm trending down, okay? Same thing with the crime here in the city of Memphis. Look, man, the murder rate was at an all-time high in 2023. Record highs. 2024, it was still pretty bad, but it started to decline. September 2025, if you even check the numbers, they're nowhere even close this time this year as they were this time 2 years ago, let alone last year. And I mean, every major category is going down. I'm not a politician. I'm not, screaming, love the police. I love my police officer, but I'm just giving you facts, okay? And it's very general because I'm not an expert in this field, but what I can tell you is this. Yes, the crime in the city of Memphis is trending downward. That is a positive thing. It is very positive. My confusion for the timing of the National Guard being deployed here is that crime is trending down. We're at all-time lows. You know, we're in the lowest it's been in 2 or 3 years, and now here comes the National Guard. I think what's happening is your president is going to try to take credit. Oh yeah, for the crime rates going down, the numbers going down. Yeah. See, we deployed the National Guard to Memphis. See, just like we did in D.C. See, and now because we deployed the National Guard in Memphis, crime is down. Nah, bro, crime was down. You sent them here now, and then they'll get out of here, and crime's gonna go back down and go down even more. Because honestly, a lot of the policies, a lot of the programs that have been put in place over the last 7, 8, 9 months in place for real have drastically affected the crime rate here in the city. And I'm gonna shout my wife out again real quick. This lady just put on one of the biggest events that the city has ever seen as far as fighting crime in the single worst apartment complexes in the city, Ridgecrest Apartments. World-renowned platinum rapper Yo Gotti, you know, that's where he's known for being from. And Ridgecrest is one of the most feared apartment complexes in the entire city and one of the most crime-ridden cities in the entire country, okay? However, this lady said, I want to go there. I want to put on a resource clinic, a resource resource display, and we're going to take law enforcement, we're going to take city officials, we're going to display several programs that's going to help not only just Ridgecrest community but the city of Memphis. And we're going to say, hey man, we're going to go right into this area that nobody wants to go to, that everybody's written off, and we're going to go there and use that as a light for this entire city. And she did it, and it worked, and it was brilliant, and it uplifted that entire community. And it shed a light that the city of Memphis Police Department is actually going into the trenches and trying to uplift what so many other people has written off. And the mayor of the city of Memphis came, Paul Young, and the police chief came, and the head basketball coach at the University of Memphis, Coach Penny Hardaway, my brother, he came and just showed a whole lot of love to not only to my wife, but just the police department and the job that they're doing, and the whole city by showing this is what we need. We need to go into these places, show them a bunch of love, show them a bunch of compassion, show them what's possible. The more you actually give love, give encouragement, give hope, the more you will see things turn around. You write people off, you speak death, you constantly say, well, this ain't gonna never happen, that ain't gonna never happen. And guess what? That's the result that you're gonna get. That ain't just that's in life, period, man. That's with crime, that's with your health, that's with everything. Keep saying negative, keep talking negative, and I said it in one of my speeches. You know, I believe in just speaking life. You know what I mean? The more, when you speak life, you live positive. And the more you speak it and believe it, the harder you're gonna work to demonstrate, you know, those things that you say they're gonna come to pass. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't talking about again, yo, hey, let's wave a wand and hey, everything is great. No, man, it's gonna take a renewed, changed mindset. And here's another thing too that we gotta understand. Oh yeah, those battles are tough. It is hard to change a mindset, but the thing is, you gotta put forth the effort to do it. Me and my wife are a whole lot alike in this regard. You tell us what we ain't gonna do, you tell us what can't be done, and guess what? That's exactly what we're gonna do. I'll never forget, folks was telling me, don't go to Memphis Academy of Science and Engineering. Don't go to Mace. Don't go to that school and try to help them. And I faced all kind of resistance from people that I knew. I faced resistance from the athletic director there. I faced all kind of resistance at that doggone place, man. All I did was go to Mace, the place that they told me not to go, showed all one of those athletes how collegiate and pro athletes train, and watched the mindset change from so many of those babies. Those folks flocked to me. Those kids flocked to me. They love the training and they love the results. So don't tell me what cannot be done. Don't tell me that one person can't go make a difference, make a positive impact on an area that's been written off. Because somebody like me is gonna be like, okay, you think so? Watch this. Then we're gonna just flood this same place with love and with real effort. It's gonna be hard. And here's another thing too. Anything that's incredible, that's great, that that God blesses you to go and do, or God puts on your heart, to make a real positive impact, it's going to be met with crazy opposition and crazy resistance. That's the thing. But that's really an indicator of you're really moving in the right direction and you're doing something right. When you got the right heart, and you got the right heart and mind, you got the right intentions. You ain't doing it for no vainglory. You ain't doing it for no accolades. You're doing it because you genuinely just want to help. And resistance is going to fly at you. I went to a school like Mace because there was a brother there by the name of Cedric Miller who deserved to win a state football championship because he was an incredible coach. And I felt like the thing that was missing in this program, if he had a real strength and conditioning coach who could take his athletes to a whole nother level, that would give that brother a chance to win a state championship. Now, am I foolish enough to say that the reason that Coach Miller and Mace won the state championship is because I was there? No, I'll never say that. What I am going to say is that my intentions were to go there and help that brother win one by training his team a certain way, by training his athletes a certain way, by having them break down with 2 words, state champs, after every workout, changing the mindset, pushing those boys towards greatness, and having them be aligned with the exact same mindset that he had. And that brother deserved to be a state championship winning coach. Again, am I saying to you that Mace won the state championship because of me? No, not at all. What I'm telling you is my goal was to go there and help that brother win one. And it just so happens that's what happened within the first year that we was able to do it together. Here's what happened as a result. The football team very shortly stopped training with me. The athletic director started discouraging the athletes to come downstairs to train. A lot of the kids, some days I would go to the weight room and nobody would show up. Now I have to drive literally 45 minutes from my house to this particular school. And I would get there and the athletic director would walk downstairs. Oh yeah, by the way, you didn't have to come today. So what happened? Remember I told you, anytime, and I'm just using myself as an example in my own experience. Anytime your intentions are good, anytime your intentions are pure, and the thing that you bring to the table is so impactful that people are going to start talking. They're going to start talking. Other people are going to hear this thing so much. They're going to hear your name so much. Instinct is going to say, oh, it can't be that good. It got to be something wrong with it. Ain't no way. He ain't that good. Oh, yo, let me tell you something. I've heard that my entire career. My entire career. If you have a goal, if you have an aspiration that you want to go help people, do it. Whether it's preparing their taxes, whether it's doing real estate, whether it's helping people lose weight, whether it's helping people to walk again, whether it's helping people understand their credit, and you have a passion for doing it, go all in and do it. And go be great at it. But understand when that happens, because your intent is right and it's good, because your intent is pure and because you're good at it, here comes opposition. A physical example, anytime you are trying to get stronger, more opposition, more resistance is needed, and more pressure is needed, and more tension is needed, because it is absolutely necessary for you to grow. Lord have mercy, that's a word. The more you struggle, the stronger you become. The more you struggle, the more you become. The stronger you become. The longer you hold that tension. The longer you hold that tension. The scientific term during strength training they call time under tension. The more you hold that tension, the more your muscles tear down and the stronger you become. Let me tell you something. The more pressure you apply to your craft, the more effectual it is to more people. The more people are going to try to tear you down, They're going to try to throw salt on your name. They're going to try to discourage you. They're going to try to talk bad about you. They're going to try to destroy your reputation. The stronger you're going to become. God is going to magnify you in front of everybody who tried to tear you down. The people who really appreciate your effort, appreciate your gift, they're going to see it. You think people at the next level didn't see that I helped 25 different teams win state championships? And now college coaches are offering me positions? But you got people at the high school level who are trying to tear my name down? First of all, you think I don't know that? Second of all, you think I don't see that? Third of all, you think I'm going to be discouraged by that? All that's an indicator that I'm doing it right. All of that's going to be an indicator that you are doing the right thing. The more opposition you receive from doing the right thing, the harder you work to continue to do the right thing. These people, it's folks that hated Michael Jordan on his basketball team. But his whole goal was, I wanted them folks to experience winning. People hate LeBron James. People just make up reason to hate LeBron. This dude been a model family man, helping his doggone son reach new heights. I mean, incredible philanthropist. Folks just hate that man. Just come up with reasons to just hate him. Bro, there's folks that hate me that I ain't never even met. There's kids that walk up to me up there in Lane College like, man, Coach Boss, I was at Bartlett High School. Man, them coaches hated you. I'm like, I ain't talking to none of these folks. Man, coach, them folks hated you. But the more I'm around you, the more I'm like, why y'all hating him? This man is awesome. But I'm gonna tell you something. That has been the story of my career. Man, folks hate me, ain't never met me once. Or you met me once, you try to step on my toes, I wouldn't let you. So you going about your business and you just hate Coach Boss. And the crazy thing is, I'm not about to try to chase down the fact that you hate me. I'm gonna go on about my business because it's lives that I'm trying to affect. And if I rub somebody the wrong way because I'm very passionate about what I do, I apologize. But so be it. Because at the end of the day, it is lives at stake. And my whole thing is I want to try to help as many people to better benefit, to better themselves as I possibly can. And if you're going to hate me for that, baby, hate on. There's a whole lot more hate coming because I'm just getting warmed up. God put me on this earth specifically to help other folks. If you want to hate a man because all you want to do is help everybody, be my guest. Straight up. Be my guest. It ain't going to stop because I don't answer to y'all. I answer to him. So I started out talking about, football season is here. Love football season. My favorite time of the year, though, is towards the middle of football season when basketball starts to crank up. It's getting close. It's getting close to that point. Let me give you guys a little bit more admonishment, man, as I wrap this up because we're on the final stretch of 2025. And it's going to go by real fast. My prayer is that y'all close the year out strong. My prayer is that your fitness goals, you take them serious. My prayer is that you become way more cautious of your mental health, way more cautious of your physical health. And you do something every day to help somebody else. A lot of people don't understand that God bless you so much when you go out of your way to try to help other folks. I said God will bless you. Don't worry about nobody else trying to bless you because if you're waiting on that, then you're going to be up for a lot of disappointment. Straight up. If you expect people to return the favors that you've given, or you expect people to return the same loving or giving energy that you give, be ready for disappointment. Know and understand that your blessing is not going to come from people. It's not. Your blessing is going to come from God. And I promise you, your blessing is going to come. It is. I'm a prime example that is the case. I waited 14, 15 years for an opportunity that I have right now. 25 championships I helped teams to win and finally was blessed at a chance to officially do it at the next level. So know that it's possible. Know that your work and effort is not in vain. It seems tireless. It seems pointless a lot of times. It does. It seems like nobody understands. I started off talking about how cruel the world is. It seems like, Everybody just don't give a crap. Everybody just care about themselves. That's what it seems like. But you be a light that shines in a dark place. You be one of the minorities. You be one of the few that carries the load. You know, what David Goggins say, who gonna carry the boats? You be one of the few that want to volunteer to carry the boats, to carry the load, to carry the weight. God gonna bless you for it 10 times over. You know, I'll wrap this up, man. I don't want to seem like I'm rambling on. I don't even know how long this episode been. Let me see. Been 20 minutes? Well, hold on. Let me see right quick. Hold on. Before I go, I gotta shout out my sponsors. Let me check this time real quick, though. 41. Oh, Lord. Yeah. We've been on for a minute. So, check this out. Look. Getting a lot of love from a lot of places about SHA-PODCAST. It's about, congratulate me on my journey up to Lane College. I do want to shout out a few people real quick, man. Shout out to the Sugar Ghosts always. Hey, man, look. Protein ice cream is a real thing. And I came up with the idea with Mary Claire White, the owner of Sugar Ghosts ice cream shop here in Memphis. I said, Mary Claire, what do you think about, let's come up with, you came up with the protein shake. You ever thought about protein ice cream? She said, oh my gosh, Shabbat, that's a great idea. Listen, man, it's a brand new product, very exclusive at Shabazz Fitness. Again, Mary Claire White, the genius behind the Sugar Ghost. I call it that. She is the Sugar Ghost. She's a goat, and I know y'all can still hear me. Look, man, a lot of times, I'll be honest, a lot of people don't want to pay $12 for a pint of ice cream. I don't want to pay that much money for no ice cream. It's ice cream. Let me tell you something. You ain't never seen or tasted nothing like this. And the only place in the entire world that you're going to get it is here at Shabazz Fitness. Like, it's that exclusive. So, again, when it's exclusive, pay for it. Just like, shout out to Sauna Box. Portable saunas. I partner with them. The health benefits are incredible. Sitting in the sauna, man, detox your body, detox your skin, helps with fat loss, help with relaxation, help with stress levels, helps with blood pressure. All of this stuff helps ease the symptoms and relieve rheumatoid arthritis. Come on, man. So many different benefits of the sauna box. You use my code, and I'll post it. Use my code, you get 10% off, and it'll be shipped to you within a couple of weeks. So shout out to Sugar Ghost, man. Shout out to Sauna Box. Shout out my man Keith Cannon, Arm Beef Dogs. Just bought a food truck park. If I'm not mistaken, the address is I want to say 500 North Hollywood. No, I could be wrong, but I get the right address for y'all here shortly. And that's it, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate everybody that subscribed. I know this is a long episode. It's been a while, but it's been a lot going on. I promise more podcast episodes. Listen, man, y'all be safe out there. Show somebody else some love. Show somebody else some compassion. And watch God bless you for it, man. Uplift somebody. Rude to the good bros. Our 4 cardinal principles, man. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and my favorite, the most important, is uplift. So shout out to the bros. Shout out to this again. What is this? Episode 22. Shout out my Deuce dog, my man Edward, and shout out my 12. Just because I feel like shouting my boy Elijah out. It's my dog, man. Great brother, brilliant brother. And look, man, I'm out. Thank y'all so much for listening. Subscribe. Get you some protein ice cream. Get you a sauna from Sauna Box. And I love y'all. Appreciate it.
The greatest. Yeah, I am.